Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I don't usually do streams on Wednesdays when I'm doing Disney Plus coverage. Hey, Matt, welcome back. But we haven't been doing a lot of live streams, so I wanted to make sure I got them back. It's so nice to see everybody. I really wanted to do this today, so I'm so glad I was able to. Let me give you a little update on scheduling. My week got real messed up. So first off, I'm so sorry about movie math on Sunday. It was Father's Day, and then what happened is that on Monday I was going to do it, but then a bunch of stuff happened on Monday, so I couldn't do movie math, and so I just kind of missed that window. However, I promise you that I won't miss movie math anytime in the near future. Hey Mike, I'm gonna work on the 4th of July for you guys. I don't want you to miss movie math. So it's just a day. I'm gonna be, videos will be going up, but I'll be, I won't be at my desk on the Thursday and Friday before 4th of July. And I'll celebrate, like on Saturday. And then I guess after I do movie math, I'll have myself like a patriotic little dinner. So gonna do that. And then as for the Suicide Squad trailer, that was just a disaster. I felt so bad. I took off the whole morning. I only found out that the trailer was going to drop on Monday. So I called up my dentist and I said, can I move my appointment? And they said, it's a 3:00 appointment. And they said, no, or we're going to charge you. And I was like, damn it. So I was like, that's fine. The trailer will drop at 9 a.m. like all trailers. And even if it drops at noon, it should still be okay because I'll have, I'll have to do a rushed breakdown, but I can at least get something up before I have to leave for the doctor. Because I was just going to Uber it and I would, I could leave like at 2:30. But they didn't make the trailer an official trailer that I could cover until I was sitting in the waiting room at the dentist. So I was pretty frustrated about that, and that's why there were no videos yesterday. And I couldn't cover anything else because I kept thinking the trailer was going to drop. Because I knew it was going to drop, because I had found out and told you about that, and then all these outlets confirmed it on Tuesday morning. But it was just really, really frustrating for me. And I really, Chico, the dentist went great. My teeth are in great shape. I'm very happy about it. Woo! So it was a very frustrating situation. I was going to do the breakdown today. I can't react because I got so annoyed that I just watched the trailer. Hey, Gabriel Martinez, and I tweeted out my thoughts on it because my reactions are always authentic. So if I've watched a trailer, I can't react to it anymore. So I'm going to break it down tomorrow, and I was going to do it today, but these Loki 3 a.m. episode drops, it's so hard. I was like, I'll take a short nap. And I took a longer nap than I anticipated. So I really wanted to do this stream. I really wanted to do this stream today. So tomorrow I will be doing, Gabriel, your enthusiasm is very nice. I love it. So tomorrow I'm hoping, let's see if any other stories come out, but I'm hoping to review The Long Halloween and then also to do the trailer breakdown for Suicide Squad and hopefully a live stream. Then my plan on Friday is to do a Fast and Furious review, F9, and then also I want to also do a breakdown of the Jurassic World preview. So we'll see. So that's my plan for this week, and then next week's going to be a little interesting because again I'm hoping to take the last 2 days of the week off on Thursday and Friday. But I'll be doing videos. I'm going to work extra hard on this Sunday and during the early part of the week, so that videos will still go up on Thursday and Friday. So, and then Sunday I will do the movie math. All right, so thank you guys so much. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update as to what's going on. Thank you for your patience with me. Know that it's like really frustrating for me, so it's tough. And then Twitter is like so toxic these days, but I don't want to spend less time on it because I like talking to you guys. So it's a difficult situation, but we're just going to persevere. All right. Hey, Lucas Ribeiro. Hey, Alex F. So if everyone who's joining right now, thank you so much for joining. It's so nice to have you here. If you can be a member, that's fantastic. If you can't, totally understand. But if you can, it does help me out. I appreciate it. And I'll give you a shout out during the stream if you join during a stream. I'm not going to react to the Candyman trailer. Universal is a little difficult, so I only react to their big trailers at this point, like a Jurassic Park or something like that. I will definitely review Candyman though. I think I'm very excited for the movie, and I'm very excited for Nia DaCosta. I really want. Sing 2 is also a Universal trailer, so I have to be honest with you. I probably won't react to that. But anyway, that's all I want to say on that point. I don't want to spill too much tea on that one. All right, so yeah, Twitter. I don't know what's going on. Like everyone's like lost their mind. Everyone's too extreme. It's like driving me crazy. Okay, all right, so let's get to today's stories. All right, that's right, Dancing Dog 60. It's time for a boop. Hold on. Oh, Lucas, no problem. I'm glad you're back. Okay, hold on. Boop. Okay, so it looks like when Avengers die, they go to Disney heaven. First, Chris Evans is going to be voicing the original Buzz Lightyear in Pixar's Lightyear. And now Scarlett Johansson is going to be doing a Tower of Terror movie. That's pretty cool. Robert Downey Jr. wanted to produce his own movie, Doolittle, and that did not work out for him. That's an understatement. He should get in on this. I don't know why he's not like... I appreciate you guys asking for a Black Widow ticket montage, but I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to do one because I have a family event that weekend. So it would be almost impossible for me to edit the ticket montage and get Movie Math up in a reasonable time. So I apologize about that. All right, so very hard to balance. Like you don't like. I think I appreciate that it looks so effortless, but it takes hours. Movie Math itself takes about 4 to 5 hours to make. You know, maybe like I could do it in 3.5 to 4 if I just was super crazy. But that's how long it takes. All right, so anyway, Black Widow, though, looks to be truly done in the MCU, at least for a little while, and Disney, though, does not want to lose Scarlett Johansson. They want to keep her in the studio, which is why don't be surprised if a lot of these Marvel actors start heading over to Star Wars. You know, Chris Evans and Brie Larson are both campaigning for Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie, and I think that Chris Evans would be a great candidate. Brie Larson, you know, sometimes I go back and forth on her. I would love to give her the benefit of the doubt, and maybe she'd be great. Maybe she really does love Star Wars. But I think the difference is that she's still very much getting started in the MCU, whereas I think that Chris Evans, you know, has completed his time there, at least for now. And so I think he could embark on a new franchise. And I think it would be, I wouldn't want anyone to be in Star Wars and I wouldn't want anyone to be in Star Wars and Marvel simultaneously, although there are rumors that Ben Mendelsohn will be doing that. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about even that. All right, so with this Tower of Terror movie, word is that Scarlett Johansson will definitely be producing it, but she might not act in it. I think that would be a mistake. I think she should definitely act in it. I think that she's very good. I know that some people are upset with some of the comments that she's made, but she's that's funny though, George. Scarlett will be playing an elevator. You know, I hope she's good-natured about it, and she seems like she is. I think she's an excellent actress. Like, her work in Marriage Story, I mean, if you're ever wondering how you feel about Scarlett Johansson, just think about Marriage Story, and you'll be like, she's a phenomenal actress. She's really, really good. Ivan, I don't know if she's acting in it for sure. Collider said that she was, but both Deadline and Hollywood Reporter said they could not confirm if she was acting in it. So we're not quite sure. But I think that she should be, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I mean, it seems pretty silly that she would produce, especially because it's a great property for her. You know, a classic horror ghost story. If they're going along the lines of The Attraction about these Hollywood stars who get struck by lightning and then haunt the hotel, I mean, she'd be perfect in that. I would love to see her do that. And it would be something kind of different for her. I just think it's great. And it would keep her, she was also very good in Jojo Rabbit. You're right, Mike. I think that Tower of Terror, Dogomania, for those who don't know, I'm sorry, I assume people were familiar with this. It's, you know, the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction in Disney's California Adventure? Well, that was the reskinned version of that ride. and it still exists in, I know it's definitely, it's still in Disneyland Paris, and it's still in Walt Disney World Hollywood Studios. It's a fantastic ride, and the basic idea is that these Hollywoods, back in the 1930s, the hotel was cursed, and the elevator was struck by lightning, sending the inhabitants of the elevator, which included 2 movie stars, or couple, actually I think a Shirley Temple type movie star, hey Spying Mentor 087, to haunt the hotel. It's very cool. Very, very cool. Now, in 1997, Steve Guttenberg and Kirsten Dunst, in fact, made a movie about that. But they're redoing Haunted Mansion as well. Ride movies are a big vertical for Disney. They've never been able to make any work outside of Pirates, but Pirates worked so well for the studio and for Johnny Depp, unfortunately to a point. I don't know. I feel Johnny Depp could be rehabilitated, and I'd really like to see him come back as Jack Sparrow. How do you guys feel? I know they're trying to do Pirates without him, but I don't really know if that would work, to be honest. I think Johnny Depp I think everybody, again, feels like, it was just bad for everybody with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. I would love it if they would stop fighting each other and just went on with their careers. Passive aggressive, we're talking about Scarlett Johansson in a Tower of Terror movie. Mika, I don't know if Margot Robbie could take it. I don't know if people want to see a female-led Pirates movie. I think they'd love to see a Pirates movie with a strong female character in it, a co-lead. I mean, I saw the last Pirates, and Johnny Depp looked like he needed to be taken immediately to rehab in that movie. Like, it almost seemed like it was inappropriate for them to be filming him in that condition. You're like, he needs to go to rehab, like, right now. And it almost seemed like Disney was taking advantage of him. But that being said, take him to rehab and then get him back in there. And I can see that most of you agree that he should come back. I think Jungle Cruise looks very good to me. I do agree, Ashley, that they have to get a little more diversity in the Pirates franchise, especially, since it's the Pirates of the Caribbean. But I think that should be in addition to Johnny Depp. I think that Johnny Depp is really great in that movie, and I really feel that he should return. I would really hate for him not to return. I think he should be focusing, you know what? Johnny Depp is working so hard to fight Amber Heard. I really feel that he and his publicist should be making a bigger deal about him getting help. He should be doing cover stories where I went to rehab and I've turned a corner and I feel so much healthier. I think that would help him so much. I can't even tell you how much that would help him. Like, that's what he should do. I really wish he should do that. I really would like that. As for Jungle Cruise, I feel that it's only going to do medium. The movie looks fantastic to me, but for some reason it's not connecting with audiences. Maybe it'll do really well on the streaming service, although it is an extra $30. If it was free on streaming like Luca in Seoul, I think it would blow up huge. But I don't think that's obviously not what they're doing. I'm excited for it. Who here is excited? Who here is going to see Jungle Cruise either in theaters or for $30? Or are you going to wait till you can get it for cheaper? Hey, Juwan. Doug O'Many, I agree that Pirate Margot Robbie would be very similar to her Harley Quinn. Oh, Z Passive Aggressive says, oh, it's a mix. You guys are like 50-50 here. Some of you are waiting till it's free. That's hilarious. But I can sense it from the reactions to the trailers. Like Madeline says, if I'm bored, I'll go to the theater. I want to tell you something. This Delta variant is no joke. Please, when you go to the theater, if you want to have snacks, fine, but put your mask on while you're in the theater. Just do me a favor. Do it for me. Just put your mask on while you're in the theater. Don't get especially if you're not vaccinated, don't get the Delta variant for a movie. That seems ridiculous to me. I'm just surprised how many people took the government at face value, literally. Like, the government's like, you don't need to wear a mask anymore. And everyone goes, hooray! And it's like, the government lied about needing masks in the first place. So you really be careful. I'm nervous about it. I just want everyone to be okay. I don't want any of you to get sick. So let's see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, this conversation is really taking a turn. But anyway, back to the Tower of Terror movie. I'm just happy they're making a Tower of Terror movie because it means they're going to keep the ride. I was very concerned when it got reskinned at Disney's California Adventure for Guardians of the Galaxy because I love the original attraction so much. But if they're doing a movie, that means they're going to keep it around. When I was in Disneyland Paris, the cast member who was working the elevator was so good. He did such a good job acting and so added to the experience that my family wrote, we wrote guest services and we remembered his name and because, if you're ever at a Disney park or any Disney place and you have a great experience with a cast member, please report them, say they did a great job. Either you can email guest services or you can go to guest services at the park and you can let them know and they will fill out the report because that really helps them at the park. And I think I've done that a couple of times. And also we have also reported some cast members who made it a little less than special. But it really is important. I think it's a really important thing to do. So anyway, I hope this means the Twilight Zone sticks around. I think that also what the problem for it, hey, Infinite Favor, I think that the only other problem is that Twilight Zone. It's called Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, but I don't think Disney wants to pay for that anymore. So they're like, so I think doing this movie would allow them to redo the pre-show, which has the Twilight Zone style entry. What's the name of that guy? Rod Serling, right? I think I forgot the name. But it's a good intro, but Disney has to pay for that, and they don't want to, which is why I think the Great Movie Ride went away, which was so sad. I was there the last day that the Great Movie Ride went, and I rode the last couple of times. It was great. I got a T-shirt that says the Great Movie Ride, final day. But that's why a lot of that stuff from the original Hollywood Studios is disappearing, because it used to be MGM Hollywood Studios, but Disney don't want to pay for that. Hey, Renee S., thanks for joining. All right, marvelous Jake, you got here in time. It's fine. Don't worry about it. All right, so let's get on to the next story of the day. Boop. All right, so this story evolved as I posted that I was doing this today because I was shocked at how many of you don't care about Jerry Seinfeld. I was like, wow, maybe Netflix overpaid for him. I was shocked. So many of you were like, I don't want to talk about Jerry Seinfeld. I mean, I'm not quite sure why he has lost so much popularity. I think Friends has overtaken Seinfeld and The Office. I think Friends and The Office have overtaken Seinfeld as the most popular thing to watch in reruns, the most popular sitcom, which is a shame. During the pandemic, I rewatched all of Seinfeld, and it was fantastic. I also watched Friends. I didn't do The Office. I did Seinfeld, Friends, and Big Bang Theory, and I had a really good time. I used to be like, who would rewatch a sitcom? That makes no sense to me. And then I did it because it was the pandemic, and I was like, oh, wow, I can see why people would do this. It's great. So anyway, I think the other problem might be he's made a couple of conservative comments about comedy that I think people didn't like. That's right, Devin. His concerts are still very popular, but that's it's a smaller crowd to sell out. And then also, I think John Mulaney has interestingly taken a lot away from him. John Mulaney bases his image very much on Seinfeld, and I think that, John Mulaney has almost in some ways become the new Seinfeld. So that's not so great for Jerry Seinfeld, who's still around. Now, I've been fortunate enough to go to his stand-up shows. I've actually seen him twice, and I'll tell you two interesting stories about Jerry Seinfeld. The first was I went to see him in Vegas. That was the first time I ever bought tickets. This was a long time ago. It was the first time I'd ever bought tickets on a ticket resale service. And I was so scared that I had wasted my family's money because we had flown to Vegas specifically to see him at Caesars. So I was like, man, if these tickets don't scan, it's going to be real bad. But they did scan, and it was a wonderful, wonderful show. I so recommend seeing Jerry Seinfeld live if you have the opportunity. He puts on a great show. And John Mulaney, by the way, also puts on a great show. They're both very funny. But also, Jerry Seinfeld, during that show, some woman in the audience yelled out, "I love you, Jerry." And he wrote back, he said back, "Thanks, sweetheart." And he totally changed his persona. I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute. Seinfeld is an act? I mean, I wouldn't say so far as to maybe wouldn't go so far as to say it was an act, but it's definitely a persona that he has, which makes sense. But I felt that's what he was really like. So I was really, really surprised that he is very New York, Michael. So I was really surprised that's how he reacted. I was like, whoa, it was a lot more slick than I had been expecting. because he dropped his guard for just a second because he hadn't been expecting someone to do that. So I still think he's very funny. One of the most recent jokes that he ever made, I don't know how recent it was, but it was very funny. He said, thank goodness that every week or every day there's just enough news for the newspaper to fill it in. I mean, his delivery is better than how I just did it. Like when I just delivered it, you're like, it makes me feel like maybe the joke's a little lame. But when he did it, I thought it was fantastic. I just thought it was absolutely hilarious. So good. So anyway, he's making a movie. Now, the reason it's about Pop-Tarts is that if you've ever seen Jerry Seinfeld stand up, and in fact, his most recent comedy special on Netflix features this, he talks about Pop-Tarts a lot. He loves Pop-Tarts. It's like his favorite thing. He just loves them. So he grew up on them. So he's going to make a movie about Pop-Tarts. I'm not sure if it's like how Pop-Tarts got started, which is why I included the original Pop-Tart box here in the pictures. But it's going to be about Pop-Tarts. And, I would watch this. It's also because it's on Netflix, so you don't have to pay for it if you because most of you, I'm sure, are already subscribed. But it's, he's going to direct, produce, and star. And Netflix is really heavily invested in Jerry Seinfeld. They just got Seinfeld reruns, which will hit the service later this year. And they have all his comedy specials. And they have, comedians in cars getting coffee. And now this movie. And I think they just want to make Jerry Seinfeld seem relevant. So first off, let me ask you, who here eats Pop-Tarts? I think I've had a Pop-Tart maybe once. Oh, Lisa, people were wondering where you were, Lisa. Let's see here. Ashley, you might be right. Seinfeld will become big again when it's on Netflix. I was watching it on Hulu, the service that I love so much, I have been so reluctant to get. Not everyone has had them, but for those of you who do, you absolutely adore them. The Pop-Tart love is insane. Maybe there really is something here. I like that Josh Kenny says, not as an adult. That's funny. Lloyd, like me, has never had a Pop-Tart. I think I've had one. Derek likes cherry. S'mores for Scott and Scott. Denny, that's a pretty funny R-rated joke. David says, classic strawberry. It's the way to go. Although Night Owl is like toaster strudel. That's great. Now, how many of you would watch this movie? Spy Mentor, you're having a Pop-Tart right now? If that's true, that's fantastic. That's right, yes. I don't have Cheetos either. I have big blank spaces in my experiences. They do go in a toaster, Lloyd. No, most of you would not watch it. Although Alex would. I like that. Who said that? ES says, not unless I'm bored. But isn't that how Netflix gets a lot of their viewership? Let's see here. Although, if you're looking for someone to watch Castlevania. Thank you guys for suggesting I watch that. It's fantastic. I really loved it. All right, so that's the second story of the day. All right, hold on. Boom, baby. Story number 3. So last week, or maybe it was even the week before. I haven't done a live stream in a while. I apologize about that. But Disney Plus said, wow, Loki did so good when it debuted that we're going to make Wednesdays our permanent day for debuting shows after the Mysterious Benedict Society, which drops Friday. And wow, does nobody care about that show. But otherwise, it's all going to drop Wednesdays. And I think that not only because I think they tried the move, as we discussed before, because they were concerned about competing with their own movies. And since it worked on Wednesday, And so since it worked on Wednesdays, they decided they're going to do all of the shows there. I think this is a mistake, okay? I think that Loki did have the biggest debut because it was so hotly anticipated and there had been a break. And I mean, everyone loved WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier so much, which were basically back to back. And then there was like a drought again. So when Loki came back, everyone's like, oh, thank goodness, I'm so happy. Yes, I'm not sure. I think the Bad Batch is going to stick to Fridays, which, by the way, I have been watching. I need something to watch. So I was like, oh, I mean, it's not my first choice, but I have to say it's pretty good. I'm going to finish it. I'm enjoying it. I don't love it, but it's pretty good. So anyway, So Loki, I think that's why it was very big in its debut. But I have to tell you, I think that Loki has dropped in the last 2 weeks. I mean, we'll see when Nielsen finally gets around to releasing some numbers, but because they're a couple of weeks behind. But I think Loki weeks 2 and 3 are not good. And I think I'm going to be curious to see what happens after this week's episode, which wasn't well received by a lot of people. I'll be curious to see how it looks next week. So I think that Wednesdays are just really difficult, as Madeline just said. I think Wednesdays are difficult for me, and I think they're difficult for you. I think they're difficult for the industry. You'll notice that now nothing happens on Wednesdays. They really don't make any big announcements. They don't really have any trailers, and when they do, nobody pays attention because everyone's just so consumed by the Disney Plus drop. So that was fine when it was Friday. It was like, okay, fine, the week's just one. I mean, people are mostly checked out on Friday anyway. But now to like just smack in the middle of the week is like really, really difficult. It's just, I got to tell you, it's hard. I think, how many of you watch Loki on Wednesday? And like, it's fine for Loki, but imagine having to do this now forever. Every upcoming Marvel show, every Star Wars show, it's Wednesdays at 3 a.m. I mean, it's killing me. I mean, it's just crazy. Anthony watches it in the evening. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you for watching with me, Chico. But I think, yeah, I'm glad that some of you do watch it. Hey, the Moon. Most of you watch it. But I think that also, I think it takes you longer to watch all the coverage as well. Because you're like, okay, I watched it. Like, I think it's more of a rush. I'm just seeing a very different viewing pattern for the show. I think Wednesdays are not good. Now, I can understand that they're worried about competing with their movies. However, for the 1 week the Black Widow comes out, I was talking to a friend about this, and she's like, the 1 week the Black Widow comes out, why not just make that episode come out on Wednesday, that 1 week? Hey, AC Fair. And then it's like a really big deal, and everyone's like, woo, we get the episode early. And it reminds you that Black Widow is coming out on Friday. I think that would have been better. Yeah, and the 3 a.m., they're never going to be able to move the 3 a.m. though, because overseas viewers love it so much. You know who loves Loki the most? India. India loves Loki so much. I just can't believe it. They just love it more than I think than any other country. Like, that show is just on fire there. It's just incredible. Like if you go on YouTube and you look at like Loki breakdown in Hindu and stuff like that, off the charts. India really loves Marvel. Like, a lot. It's amazing. That's why we'll see how they react to Kumail Nanjiani. So would you guys want them to, do you like the Wednesdays or do you want it to go back to Fridays? That's right, Devin. HBO owns Sundays, which is a great day. Hey, Damani. Fridays, yeah. Everybody agrees that Friday is better. Although, except Dogomania. Michael Osel is okay with Wednesday. I know Kumail Nanjiani's Pakistani, but he's playing a character who is a Bollywood star. I don't do the casting at Marvel, man. And I love Kumail Nanjiani. I think he's great. Elliot, I like your positivity. You're fine with either one. So we'll see. Although Anna says Wednesday is best for her work schedule. Yeah, it's tough. You can't make everyone happy. But I got to tell you, I'm not loving it. And I think it's really bad for the business, for the industry, to be honest with you. I think that it like totally ruins Wednesday for the business, for the industry. I just think it's a disaster. I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually go back and change it. We'll see. All right. And I'm really curious to see what Loki's week to week looks like. Real curious. Real curious. Is everyone you know talking about Loki? I'm really surprised that it's not as big a show as Falcon and Winter Soldier was the biggest show. 50-50. No, a little. No. Yes, from Ivan. That's interesting. Oh, and Anna, I'm glad all your friends are enjoying it. Yeah, people just aren't talking about it as much, which is interesting. People really love Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was a great show. But I think it's interesting that that one was the most mainstream and hit the most. David, that's funny. You talk about Loki enough for all your friends? That's fantastic. I love it. You guys are so much fun. All right, on that note, let's get to questions. Ask me anything. It is 6:48. You can ask me anything you'd like until 6:58, and then I'll do a couple of shout outs, and then I must go because I'm trying to keep on a good sleep schedule. Couldn't nap for too long because I got to be able to sleep tonight. Last week I totally lost my Thursday. I can't lose 2 days in the week. I got to make sure I get up on time. The Shazam new suits, Mika, I mean, I thought, like YouTube, if I post more than 3 videos in 24 hours, it won't send out notifications to you. So I'm trying to keep it to 3 videos a day unless like a huge story comes out. But I don't really feel like this Shazam, I already covered the first Shazam suit, and I didn't think the other suits really had anything that interesting going on with them. As for Hespera, I kind of didn't like that leak. I thought that the leak of them having lunch together, that fast food, I thought that that was a really good joke that was now ruined because of the leak. So I'm surprised. I mean, if I was filming Shazam 2 and I knew I had that good of a joke, a comedic moment, I would be like, we need to cover this up more so people don't see it. Christian Gomez says, do you think Indiana Jones could still make its release if Harrison Ford heals quickly? I don't know why. I saw them filming and Harrison Ford has a bunch of dots on his face to be de-aged. But I'd be like, if we're going to de-age his face, why don't we just stick his face on a stunt double? Why is he doing any fighting at all? I mean, I'd be like, protect Harrison Ford at all costs. Like, if this movie breaks Harrison Ford, it'll never live it down. So I hope that it makes its date, but we'll see. I mean, I don't think it should be on that date. I don't think it should go up against Black Adam. I think one of them needs to move. And so if it's this one, fine. Brett, I did read the Pride issue from DC, but I agreed with some of you that the stories weren't solid. I wish they would just do maybe like an ongoing instead of a single. I often find that the collections of short stories in comics are not particularly well done. Ace Fair says, does being a reviewer affect your excitement or enjoyment of watching something? That's a really good question. I can't watch anything comic book related to relax. It just makes me feel like I'm working. So, although that's why I couldn't think of anything to watch last night. And I was like, well, I'll watch Long Halloween because at least I'll get some work done. And then I was like, this is amazing. So sometimes I'm really pleasantly surprised like that. But one of the reasons I rewatched old sitcoms and I'll watch a lot of old movies I watched Castlevania for work so that I could cover the upcoming spin-off show. And I really enjoyed it, as I said. But yeah, I don't watch comic book movies to unwind because it makes me feel like I'm working. So I can't do that. That's the only way I would say it affects me. Also, because it allows me to do what I love, which is fantastic. But I do work pretty much every day. I try to take Saturdays off, but I work every day of the week. Terry, I'm going to try and review Long Halloween tomorrow. I didn't react to the Titans trailer, ES, because it was too short. Just Josh, Castlevania is streaming on Netflix. Heads up, it's extremely gory, and then also in season 3, it has some really big and very graphic sex scenes. It's all very well done, but I just want you to know what you're getting into. Ivan says, thoughts on Black Widow, 90 million box office projections. I would say wait until the reviews come out on Tuesday before you make your projections for how this movie's going to do. I think if Black Widow wasn't on Disney Plus, maybe it would do 90. I don't think so. The biggest opening they've been able to do is something in the 30s. So to triple that with a streaming option, I don't think that'll ever happen. But do I think maybe it'll do something like 60? Or if it could do anything, if it could break out of the threes, out of the 30s, that would be fantastic. That would just be enough for the movie to do well. Evelyn, I'll be reviewing F9 on Friday. I wanted to be able to go and see it with the Jurassic World teaser in front of it. And I didn't know they were doing a screening the other night on Thursday. Last week they did a screening for the public, and I didn't see. All of the screenings from Universal are like in a crappy theater. And I'm like, I'm not going to go to a crappy theater. Infinite Favor says, any Batman tea? It's tough. With the Batman, as I've said, I know someone who's read the script. Several people have read the script. So I pretty much know all the major beats in the film. I don't know about Catwoman's arc, but I know I know like the basic character arc. So the thing is that I don't want to ruin the movie for anybody, you know? And then I have people challenging me. They're like, oh, well, then you don't know what it is. It's like, I mean, it's a difficult place to be in, but I'm not going to let someone bait me into, I'm not going to let someone bait me into ruining a movie. Like, I know the whole Matrix 4 plot. The whole thing. And it's like you have to be careful. I think there's a fine line between sharing information and getting people excited about something and then just outright ruining a movie. Same for Spider-Man. I know a lot of stuff about the third act, but I don't want to ruin the movie for you and for the people who worked so hard on it. Hey, Elmist. And is that really reporting, just telling someone the end of a movie? Alan Patino says, do you like the new Transformers title? I have never been into Transformers. I have no emotional connection to them whatsoever. So I can understand and appreciate that a number of people are like, Beast Wars? But I was like, dinosaur car robots? I don't know, man. But I'll certainly be covering the movie, but it's very difficult for me to cover the announcement when it means nothing to me. They could call it like Transformers Boobly Blue, and I'd be like the same impression. Denzel, I did watch the documentary on Erica on Real Housewives, from Real Housewives on Hulu. It's incredible. So juicy. I'm very curious to watch the show tonight, in fact. Raphael said, how do you become a comic book writer? I'm not quite sure what it is like today, but when I was a comic book writer, the best thing to do is to have a couple of spec scripts done, and then you got to go to the conventions and you got to kind of make friends with the editors. Unfortunately, comic books is not like movies or television where they hire writers through agents and stuff like that. Usually editors hire people they know. It's very much comic books is a who you know business more than anything else in entertainment. I mean, they really are like, hey, do you know anyone who wants to write a comic? Who's your pal? Like Scott Snyder is a big Batman writer, and then he recommended one of his former students, James Tynion, and that's how James Tynion got into comics. And I think James Tynion's actually turning out to be a pretty good Batman writer. I didn't like his previous writing, but I think he's pretty good. So, Raphael, you got to really network. You got to go to the comic book conventions. You got to go to the booths you're not going to start at Marvel or DC. You got to start at the smaller publishers, see if they're looking for someone, and you have to be able to show that you can do it. And so, you're just trying to get some work. I started out doing children's comics and stuff like that. And there are less of them around these days, so it might be a little bit harder to get in there. What is that? Dan says, have you been surprised by the In the Heights box office and lack of chatter? Yeah, I'm real surprised. It's tough. I totally understand where everyone's coming from on that movie. And I think that it's unfortunate that John Chu didn't learn the lesson of colorism off of Crazy Rich Asians. Hey, Harry Posadas, sorry. Posadas. I'm sorry, I mispronounced your last name. I apologize. I'm a little tired still from being up so early. But anyway, I think that John Chu already got that note off of Crazy Rich Asians about colorism, and he did the exact same thing for In the Heights. So I largely blame him. Hey Harry, yeah, I'm glad you joined. Thank you for joining. I'm just really surprised that this hasn't come up before for Lin-Manuel Miranda, because he got hit real hard on it. Really, really hard. JP, I think Helena Bonham Carter is not really as popular as she once was, and I'm sick and tired of seeing her with Johnny Depp. Let's see here. Tara says, Grace, I wanted to thank you for your review of The Hitman's Bodyguard's Wife. My husband and I decided to wait. I appreciate your reviews. They are always spot on. Oh, that means so much to me, Tara. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your faith. I take that responsibility very seriously. I want to make sure I steer you right. Josh, I took a little bit of a nap, but, it's not great napping in the middle of the day. I mean, some people are like, I love to nap in the middle of the day. Not me. Messes up my whole day. But it's really hard to go to sleep at 8 o'clock at night to get up at 2 a.m. for a good 6 hours. Especially because in the summer, it's still light outside at 8 p.m. So I'm like, am I really going to sleep with the sun up? It's just very difficult. It's 6:58. All right, let me do some highs. So let me do some shout outs. So you guys just, tell me something you're up to, where you are, if you're eating anything, if you're doing anything, just so I can interact with you. Let's see here. I'm glad so many of you also can have the trouble with the napping. Happy birthday, moviegoer 727. Oh, Madeline drinking watermelon rosé. That's very summery of you. Raphael is reading The Mighty Thor in Brazil. Brazil has some really good conventions, Raphael. Let's see here. Isaac says, hi, Grace. It's my day off in Phoenix, Arizona. Oh, that's great. That's good for you with the Loki show. Jennifer Escalona says, made some chicken and dumplings today. Oh, that sounds delicious. Brett Crandall is driving home from doing a Tarzan puppet show in Kansas. I'm so glad I saw your comment. How'd it go? That's great. Devin's having baked Cheetos in Las Vegas. I'm so behind on Cheetos. I don't even know what you can do with them. Alex, it was my pleasure to review Love, Victor Season 2. It trended when it dropped, but I haven't seen a lot of attention for Season 2, which I think is unfortunate. Myra says, eating a Cobb salad in Tampa. Ah, that sounds very healthy, and I love Florida. It's so great there. Lloyd just woke up from a nap, actually. I'm glad it worked out. Swamp Thing is going to sleep in London. Ah, sweet dreams. Denzel is at the McDonald's drive-thru. Oh, sweet McDonald's. I still haven't had any. I'm hoping to have some soon. Keith is fully vaccinated in 2 days. Congratulations. That's fantastic. Again, I got the Pfizer vaccine. It just made me sleepy the day that I got the shots. I'm very happy that I did it. Denny B is hardcore into naps. Sergio says, just got home from work. Going to take a nap now. Oh, I love it. Tristan says, about to watch an Ingmar Bergman movie here in Chicago. Oh, fantastic. I got Chicago-style pizza for my father for Father's Day. Authentic Chicago-style pizza mailed to us. It was frozen, and it was very good. We really loved it. It was like Luminati or I forgot the name off the top of my head, but it was really good. You can't eat that too often. It's like very, very heavy, but it was great. Given by Gabriel says, Grace, I just want to tell you that I'm learning how to use the casting databases for my internship, and one of the films is for Chris Pratt. Oh, it's your internship. That's awesome. Lena says, I'm about to watch the new episode of Loki and then head to your breakdown. Oh, I really appreciate that, Lena. Thank you. Rashad is also about to watch episode 3 of Loki with me and a king-size Hershey bar. Oh, you're going to have a great time. Thanks for watching with me. Let's see here. JP says, I think I'm becoming a Vera Farmiga stan. She's very talented. I don't blame you. She's worth standing. Carrie's about to go to yoga. Oh, that sounds great. Josh, I'm so glad you had fun today. I'm glad to be back. Gabriel has a casting internship. That sounds pretty sweet. Chico says, trying to recover after being fully vaccinated, feeling a bit sleepy as well. Yeah, I just slept most of the day that I got my vaccination shots. Linda is eating venison and pork burgers. Oh, that sounds very interesting. I like it. Mikey Bray, hey Mikey, is in Washington, UK, enjoying McDonald's banana milkshake. They don't even have those in America. You're going to sleep well, Mikey. Let's see here. Jay King says, hi Grace, I was the one who made the fan edit for you. I'm so happy you liked it. Thanks so much for reposting. My pleasure. Are you talking about the poster, the Loki poster? That was great. I loved it. Let's see here. Rodney Dollar says, just re-listening to the Raya soundtrack and saw the film 12 times and hopefully reached 20 before Black Widow. I want a series and a sequel and Raya in the Disney parks. It really was that good a movie. I loved Raya. I'm glad that it's really finding an audience on Disney Plus. It's been staggered because of the way it was released, but I just thought it was such a good movie. Lena, I'm going to do the Suicide Squad breakdown tomorrow, I'm afraid. Dolan is in New York City, down near the World Trade Center. It is beautiful weather in New York. It's gorgeous. All right, let me get going. Lena, the breakdown will go out tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to review Long Halloween in the morning and then get to work on the breakdown. So let's see here. Lucy says, just finished my first year of university in Liverpool. Oh, that's great. Congratulations. All right, everybody. I have so much fun talking to you. I'm so glad we did this again. I'm going to try and do one again tomorrow. Okay? Thanks for bearing with me. And I really am glad we did this again. I've missed you guys. All right. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Bye-bye.